live, we need to talk about a few different areas of real concern here. As we can see, XRP is down 4.51%. And if you're part of this audience, if you're part of Tom's Army, if you've been in this community for any length of time, you know that we've had a technical drawdown here down to around the 48 or 49 cent mark, depending on which chart you look at. And it's been a real cause for concern for us. The moment we lost that 2018 resistance, it really became a not just, you know, are we coming down to 48 cents or worse, but when? And we created this short-term, let me get rid of some of these so that it's easier to see. So we created some of these short-term consolidations, and on this one, once you lost right here, on this current area, it's around 52 point, let's go into recent times. About 52.59 on this chart. The technical drop down is 48.1. If that's not bad enough, we have a compounding technical drop. If we lost at 53.1 approximately, that's 48.8. So both of them are between 48 and 49. Now we're very oversold in the 4-hourly. In the 3-hourly, we're pretty oversold, as you can see, majorly. The hourly, we came down, but this is why in the title I said we're one rejection away from 48 cents. Because we are literally one rejection away. And right now, would I expect us to come up here momentarily? Absolutely. I'd expect us to come up to 52.94 on this chart. And then if it's based on this, because we don't know. So we have 52.94 or 52.51. Now, I'm going to be very transparent. If it comes past 52.51 and we come right down here, and we hit 53, let's see where we're at in current times, and we come up to 53 cents, we'll base it on this. And our first target would be 48.8, with the understanding that we could come to 48.1 in reverse. But if these break, we've got, that's 40.75, but you can't even look at that. I know it's in the area, but it would end up playing off of, and this is basically what it could be doing. That's just a stopgap measure where we're talking about on those last two charts. But the real nuts and bolts here is right here. That's the cup and handle support down at 42.2 cents roughly. So that is where, if you start coming down past 48, I don't really care about 40 cents right now. I care about that 42 cents on the cup and handle. And then if it breaks through the cup and handle, then we have the falling channel support that very much will come back into play at 30 cents. The angels are giving us a sign. And the rising channel busted. So the one thing that could go wrong if it comes to 32.2, it invalidates that W reversal we can see right there. Now, one proponent that's helping push this down is we were spot on with Bitcoin. We had a technical move at least, at minimum, of 54,000. And if it broke through there and we ended up falling through and getting a rejection, then we're talking about sub 52, like 51,400. And worst case scenario is not 48,400. I believe the yearly open at 42,000 is where we could actually come back into play, but you would have to lose 48.4 first. But that is where I think the possible floor could be if this bull cycle for Bitcoin didn't end, because this is a massive bull flag, as we've discussed. A massive cup and handle. I'm sorry, not bull flag, but a massive cup and handle. And that handle could bring us all the way down to 51,400. So we are very aware of what's going on here. I took a lot of slander here the last couple weeks, and a lot of people stopped watching. I'll be honest. There's a lot of people that decided not to come back. They were very happy when I was very bullish when we were moving up. But the moment that I said at 61, 62 cents, that sub 50 cents and these targets, they got pissed. And then furthermore, last week, when we made the move up to 57, 58, and it said it was a facade, because all we did was came up to the rejection points, and my target's been firm under 50 cents for some time now. Now, I'm not going to have a overzealous here and be like, oh, I'm predicting. But no, a target, my suspected target, unless it was invalidated, which it wasn't, is down in that 48 cent range that we've discussed here on the open. So, you know, that's where we stand right now. So that's a pretty interesting dynamic. I feel really good about the B2 gold thing earlier in the week, and with gold, I felt like we were having a correction. We talked about how if you haven't bought yet, should you buy at $2.71, $2.75, and we said no. I held off on buying more B2 gold you know, at a wholesale, you know how I do it, buying it all. And I held off right now because if it's going to make me buy it back right here, it's going to have to prove it to me, which means that it would probably have to come back up towards the $2.90 or at least get back on top of 274. But I really was looking for a target down here at 257 and it's firm. If it comes down farther, well, we know the entirety of this pattern, and then if it breaks down, so be it. But we're we're undervalued here in a big way in the sector, in the commodity base, as far as B2 Gold. And then another one that we're going to be watching, and I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited, and I'm not saying today we're going to go over this, and this is going to be an overwhelming, but get ready because First Majestic, we talked about this when we had a beautiful ride up on it, and then I sold it at the dismay of my brother. But, you know, I'm not as... my brother is doing very well when he's got a nice job, and, you know, when things go down, he's got more liquidity and cash to where he can buy that percentage more. I have to do it a little more suave. I don't have that cash flow that he has in the same way. So unfortunately, I have to do it in very unique ways. So when it got up at $6 and something cents, I sold First Majestic, as all of you know. And I didn't ride it all the way to the top, but I have a technical back test here that I thought could bounce off of here. And the technical breakup is $8.25. If it holds this back test, you better believe I'm in the market next week. Next week, I'm in the market. So pay attention. 4 hourly's massively oversold. And I hope I didn't waste an opportunity. But I think it can come down. And I think it's going to come down around 447, 445 area. So massive fucking opportunity here. And the only reason it went down is First Majestic had to, they bought a new mine basically. And it's going to overproduce silver now. So they had to come up with the funds. They came up with a minor shock, you know, because they had to pull out the funds to buy it. So every time, this is such an opportunity. We'll talk about this next week. So besides that, a lot to talk about here. I don't know how many people will be here because who knows? The market's down. Everybody gets mad. Less people decide to watch. But I'm telling you, if you watch in these cycles, you're going to get the most information you could possibly get. So make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this update. It really does help push us through the analytics. It allows us to be on the news feed. And it's very important during these times because not a lot of people are watching crypto anymore. A lot of people have given up, and I understand. But I think it's the wrong time to give up. Also, in the video description, well, the pinned comments on this live, you'll see for old Vincenzo, my brother, he just pushed over 3,500 followers on Facebook. I'm trying to get him to, I want him to get the 5,000 followers there so I can get his ad revenue. But it can also give him a wider base. He's really good with the weather. Some of you might have watched him in the past on YouTube, but he put all of his dedication into his weather stuff. So I hope some of you will follow that. So here, so just make sure to hit that like button and we're going to get into this. So good evening, 7:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, September 6th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So like I've been saying, I want to welcome everybody in. A lot to talk about. A lot of dynamics. You guys haven't seen me during the live yesterday. I've still been trying to be around, but my mom's in the hospital. She has diverticulitis, and it's really bad. They need to remove some of her intestine, but she can't do it yet because it's so inflamed and all that good stuff. So that's where I've been the last, you know, today I was there. Yesterday, you know, we were not knowing what's going on and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But, so I wanted to do a live now. I just got home a little while ago. I was up there with old Vincenzo. So, but she's doing the best she can do right now. She's going to be there another night tonight. I don't know about tomorrow, but this is her second night. But eventually she's going to need surgery once this inflammation goes down, and they're going to have to remove, you know, a portion of her intestine, which is not going to be not too nice. So, but I appreciate all the kind wishes from everybody in the audience. So let me just say hi to everybody. We got to get into this. JW, welcome in. Yes, I appreciate your prayers, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. He said, hope all is going well with your mom. Yeah, it's, and thanks for the prayers, friend. Adam says, I have 94,000 XP now. I added 7 grand at 51 cents. This doesn't faze me. It shouldn't faze you. I don't know why it would faze you. Kryptonian, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6 months plus with the XRP Meteor. Burning up in Southern Cal, it's 110. Oh my god. I'm here in my North Face jacket because it's starting to get cold. Here, it's like in the 60s right now. Well, it's getting cooler now too. Let's see. Kelly, welcome in. You can add me to the 100,000 club. Excellent. Kelly gets into the 100,000 XRP club. Unbelievable. Rob Holklick in UK. Phil, along with George, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. Kryptonian's been in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. I apologize. Rob, welcome in. Welcome, friend. Welcome. Apatox, good evening. Yopai, welcome and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Daniel, good evening and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your 2nd month with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Richard Quinn, happy days to you as well. Only way is up from here. Bitcoin should expand now. We'll take a look at that. There's still a little bit downside pressure that could happen. Ryan, good evening. Nuan, Nunya, welcome in. You're welcome, friend. George, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6 months. What's the XRP Predictor? Says, I thought a cup and handle was a great thing. It is. But the handle's bearish until you finish the consolidation. Now, if you break down out of it, it's very bearish, but typically the handle, once it's figured out, will break bullish, and then it's very bullish. Coco and Ruben, diamond bottom on Bitcoin. Possible, and we'll talk about this in a minute. Excellent observation. John Page, Mandoline, welcome in. Adam Carrillo, Mad Eagle, thanks for being in Tom's Army for your 1st month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And that is my face superimposed on there, so you know it's me being abducted. I kid you not. It's not just some random bastard using my likeness, as many do. But don't give credit for it. They just steal my content, but it's okay. You know, we're all stealing somebody's, I guess. Make XRP great again. Welcome in. Yes, indeed. So, as we spoke of, I'm very excited here. Very excited. Not because we broke down, but because we've been nailing this right now. And XRP, if you look at this, and just for argument's sake, folks, let's go to this one because it's easier to see. For argument's sake, we know we're in a cup and handle, right? A lot of times in your pattern, when you're in it, you start to mimic it. So, are we just putting in another cup and handle in here? We're going to come all the way down to 41? Hope not. I don't want it to come down there. I've been very transparent. I would have rather the 2018 resistance held, but if we come down any farther than 48, we're coming to 41.9 or 42. I'm under the impression that I don't buy XRP over 40 cents, and that doesn't mean that you sell it every time it gets over 50. No, that means when I'm buying XRP or expanding my bags, because what I own of XRP that I don't want to sell is on a cold wallet. And I've added to it this year when it was at 38 cents, but I also had a lot more than I actually held on to because I wanted to swing and make some profit with it. But I have added some this year, a few thousand on that last drop. But I'm under the impression that I don't buy XRP when it's over 40 cents for one reason. It's been a stable coin pegged to the price range of 28, and I don't care what anybody says, I can hurt their feelings or not. It's been a stable coin or a stable price pegged anywhere, as long as you stay around the 2020 uptrend right now for the last 4 years plus, almost 5 years now. So that's anywhere in current times is from 40 cents and up, but I that still doesn't sit right with me. So I believe that if you just stay, like right now, you can't say sub 40 because you have to follow. You've run out of that opportunity if XRP is going to continue to honor that uptrending support. And let's go through this for everybody who's new. So if we go all the way back, and I understand, I'm going to get rid of some of this because it's not necessary. Not necessary. Some of this is necessary, but that's not an over. I guess some of those numbers are. So we'll just keep it like that. But if you go all the way back in time here, that $3.31, if you're new, and it's very important, is where XRP at all-time highs at $3.31. That's still the swing high to today, 6.5+ years later, going on 7. The swing low was down to 10.8 cents, and that was all the way back. It took 27 months to go from the high to the low at 10.8 cents in March of 2020. Then we hit support 2 right here, which is in December of 2020 at 18.2. We hit resistance 2 at $1.98, which was April of 21. We hit support 3 at 30.3 cents. See this uptrend? The floor back in January is 30.3 cents unless it busted. That's support 3. We come up to resistance 3, which confirms the pattern this year at 74.8 cents in March of this year. We come back down for support 4, further proving that we can come back down and honor the support structure. Now, it also proved the sub 40 cents was a perfect buy at 38 cents. Now, oh, don't get my blood boiling, Michael. I talked about this on my update earlier this morning, but it made absolutely 0 sense. And I don't believe in politics. So right or left, I think everybody's being played, but I don't want to say too much because the central banks are always watching and they're the ones who control everything. But it made absolutely no sense to endorse that rhetoric because she's talking about with her administration to come on board, they want to tax unrealized gains. And they said it's only going to be with the rich, but how long do you think it is until you have a trickle down to the poor, which is us? So it's not going to take long, and I'll be damned. If I got $10,000 invested and I'm up 35%, they're going to tax my $3,500 unrealized gains. Where the hell am I going to come up with that money? You know, that's not what you're looking for. But are they going to give you the same credit if the prices go down? So it's a very tough time right now. It's a very tough time. Yeah, George, they do just want to play both sides. I understand that. But anyhow, let's get past that. So then you got resistance 4. Right now, as of right now, resistance 4 we know of is right here at 58.7 in July of this year. Now, did we put in a resistance 5? In my opinion, no. Well, maybe. Actually, you know what? I don't know if I want to call that anything different because technically, I don't know though, that did come all the way back down. Yeah, that would be a 5th resistance actually. Which tells me, if you're playing this from resistance to support or vice versa, our support's down at 41.5 right now with the opportunity out of this little consolidation we have when we were trying to flip 2018 resistance to support, which right now it's not happening. The technical drop is down to 48.1, but we have a chance to make this, you know, to where we don't have to come all the way back down here to the 2020 uptrend at 41. So to say you can't buy now, if we may never come back down sub 40 cents, it's not the same. It's not the same as when I said it in 22 and 23 and even in the beginning of this year. It's different now. Now to me, it's if you're buying it over 50 cents, you're probably getting played just because we know where the targets are below. And if it doesn't break the 2018 resistance at 55, well, what makes us think that it's going to be any different, you know, and we're just not going to come all the way back down and see if our support still stands at 41. I mean, and then if we break that, well, this is the whole philosophy to me. I'm not buying anymore until it goes sub 40. More importantly, if it comes down to 26 and a half, I'm going to be cha-ching, cha-ching. And people would be like, well, what do you mean? You're down on the ones you bought at 30 cents or 32 or 38. I don't give a rat's ass about that. I want to buy more. Just like I said in 2021, even though it went up on us 400% almost. And we were very happy. We made, well, I made, if you followed my moves, 12 grand on XRP in 21. And it only took us like a month. So it's very easy. It's the whole reason I started my YouTube channel when I did. I really thought XRP was about to break out. And it was a perfect time. Ooh, 7 o'clock? 7:15? Are you going to go lay down? Do you want to have a last second relaxation? Julie's going to join us real quickly. I will grab you a chair. Hold on, everybody. I'll be back. I got to grab Julie a chair real quick. I know. I'm going to grab you a chair. You want the red one?
Either one. Hi. Hi, people. Hi, people. Hi, people.
Huh?
Hi, people.
There, now you can sit and you can rest your foot.
Oh, look,
Oh, it fell over.
Oh, it's in the store next to it. But this one's red.
Oh, here, I can show the audience.
That one's dead, but this one's...
What were these again? These are the...
Rose of Sharon.
Oh, yeah, the Rose of Sharon. I was walking, and I made her a bouquet, but this is the only one that's really left. But it popped open today.
Which is crazy.
But there was like 3 different colors. I found them. I like walking and finding her stuff when I'm walking. I think it's better than going to the store. It's always important when you're showing your... Anyhow, so we see right now with XRP, the one thing that we're really looking at here, and make sure to hit that like button. Less than half the people watching have hit the like button. I didn't realize there was 101 people, but only 49 of you have hit that like button. I think we deserve more than 49. I will leverage hard down low. What do you mean by that? Like you're going to leverage short? Guys, if you're going short right now, we've talked about this since 58, all the way up here at 63 when I said I didn't think this was going to last. We've talked about it when we lost here. If you're going short, why now? Look how oversold we are. Look how oversold. So, okay, I better be honest with everybody. I invert my relative strength index chart, okay? So, even though it looks like it's overbought, it's oversold. This is actually very oversold in the smaller time frames. Oh, low leverage at the bottom. Oh, okay, you're talking about... I got you. You're talking about if it goes down the reversal back up. I was going to say, I didn't think that... Because I've seen you in here a lot. You know what you're talking about. That's why I was wondering.
I was looking at today. She was sticking her head in.
Of course she was. So I mean, this is the biggest problem here. The fact we lost both of these formations, and now we're back testing. So like I said when I started, I almost think I could have made... This is where the tough ones are for me, because I don't want to see anybody do anything stupid right now. Because if we're not over 52.5 on this chart, and like, is it this chart we're talking about? Because on the 2 hourly, I hate to break it to myself, but it might be ready to push up right now just to that area. But my emotion would say, oh, buy now, Tom. You got to buy it. But if you're not in, or if you're just buying a swing, if you're not over that area and then you're not over 53, what are we talking about? Because all we'd be talking about is a last second setup and then a drop to 48.8. I don't feel comfortable about this weekend. The only thing I feel good about is how oversold we are in the 2 and 3 hour. Look how oversold we are. But oftentimes I've noticed when we're oversold like that, we have one more 7 to 10% drop. How many of you have noticed this? When the RSI becomes massively oversold, it'll end up having a small play. And then like from 53, that's what I'm talking about. So then it'll come up here, everybody get excited, and then have a 7% or 8% drop right back down to 48.4, 48.8 or wherever this area is. That's what I think would probably happen. It's already showing us we're bearish by falling out. So are we going to finish off the consolidation, or is this a fake out? Think we're going to hug 50 Cent? It's possible. What do you mean? He's drowning?
He's in the water.
Oh, let's get him out. Pull that out. We're going to dump the water out.
But then my phone.
Now I'm going to get it. I will let you use my water.
So killing me.
Mm-mm.
See, he's floating away.
He's walking. Yep.
Saved him.
We saved the spider, ladies and gentlemen. We saved the spider. Oh, don't I can have my water. It likes it better anyhow. Chris. Green Day once famously said that, and they were absolutely right when speaking of crypto. Wake me up when September ends. That's why they made the song. They didn't even know it. They didn't even know it. But that's why they made it. The hourly, I mean, do we really feel comfortable with this reversal right now? I'm just asking. If we're looking at... Let's see. 263,000 on this chart. 70,000 buy volume. The breakdown was 861,000. Biggest candle was 2.4 million. Don't feel good about that. For the reversal to continue on. Let's go to Tether, because sometimes there's more volume coming in Tether. So the drop volume in a... What time frame is this? Hold on one sec, sorry. In the 1 hour time frame, we've got 15.4 million on the USDT Tether chart on MEXC. We've got 15.7, 21 million. Now let's see the buyback. 4.4. This one's got 35 minutes, so this is looking at about 1.3 million. This is pathetic. This isn't going to work. I think we're just coming up for a rejection. Look at this. This is no man's land. Now, if we can come up here real quick and shoot past here, and then all of a sudden this weekend with the low volume, right? Oh, Tom, it's a big fake out. Low volume. You know, oh my God. We're starting to get some push up. Well, wake me up if we get above 54.5 cents. And I'd say, oh my God, yes. It didn't have to go all the way down. It had an overzealous pull down. And if that happens, we'll be very happy. You know why? Boom, boom, V-shape, out and gone. Okay, well, that would be fantastic. I don't need it to go all the way to 48. 51's good enough. I'm not greedy. This has already been good enough if it wants to do this. But do I think it's going to do this without coming all the way to 48? Probably not, but I can hope. We can hope and wish. We can pray. It could. Pump Master Flash, it could. You never know. You never know. And with Bitcoin, remember, for anybody who's been watching, you know, pretty religiously here the last couple weeks and probably got sick of it, I've been talking about that 54,000. It actually was 53,009 something, but I tried to keep it up with current times. We talked about this drop down, so I never got excited. When Bitcoin came all the way up here, and this was on August 28th, so just a week ago, it came up here and I kept saying, I think it's coming down to 54. And then when it made this move here, I said, I think it's coming down to 54. And when it made the move here to 57 yesterday, I said, I think it's coming to 54. And now it came under 54. We talked about this for a couple weeks. Yep, and that's why I really hope it goes down to that 48, 49 cent area, Balzac. I almost want to call him Balzac. Yeah, because it's B-U-L-Z-A-C-K or something, and I always think of Balzac, and it's Balzac. So I got to be careful. I don't want to offend. The audience knows what I'm talking about, if they've ever been here. Maybe that's why I've only got 62% like percentage today, Julie. I'm doing very poorly in the likes. Very poorly this. Yeah, I've only got 62 likes. 62. Yeah, see, Julie's rooting me on. That's the kind of... Haha, that's what I made it, Balzac. See? See, I knew it. You made my day and I made your day. I can tell. Because now you know it actually reads Balzac if you make it. But I always say Balzac. Just to not offend. That's so awesome. That actually made me laugh harder than I thought I was going to. Look at Ethereum. 2,222 is the price, down 6.1%. Remember my target? 2,251. And I said I'm not joking when I wasn't joking. And we had the stop gap, but that was a target. Now if it breaks this, see my lower target? 1,683. That's also not a joke. Now I can do this because now people are going to be like, Michael! Michael joined Tom's Army. He just made me the happiest person in the world today. Look at that. I got to read his last name. It's his month one. He's got the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, so I know it's month one because that's my face superimposed on that emoji badge. Those aliens are trying to get me.
I have the coffee cup.
Julie does have the coffee cup as well. I forgot about that.
Face on.
That's Michael Provenzano. Mr. Zano.
My favorite coffee.
Michael Provenzano, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army. It means the world to me. Means the world. Now it doesn't matter so much the likes. And you know what? You guys don't even have to hit the like button. Just go in my pinned comments and follow Vincenzo on Facebook so you can watch his weather forecast. We're coming up to a very brutal winter in Michigan. He's got 3,500 plus followers, so forego the like and follow his channel. Like he said, even if you don't follow his channel, just follow it. You don't even have to watch it. You'll go there when you want to. It's Michigan gold forecast. No, what? How the fuck does he say it now? He changed. Thank you, Michael. Hey, he said I got his name right. Look at that. I'm not going to say it again on the risk that I'm going to say it wrong this time. No. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate it. So with Ethereum, 2,248 is that rejection. And that's my number, okay? That's just a number that I had a technical drop down, and now that would be a technical rejection. And if you get a technical rejection, that's a bear flag. If it's a bear flag, I haven't talked about this in this live, but does everybody want to see where we go on a bear flag on Ethereum, on XRP, and on Bitcoin if it plays out? Yes or no? I don't need to break dreams today. I promise.
Is that Uber? No.
On what?
Yay or nay?
Uh-oh. Does that explain it? If it goes to uh-oh. So I'm going to give the audience a choice. Do they want to be, do they want to see where we could go here? Because a lot of people got mad when I talked about Ethereum at 2,248. When it was all the way up there at 2,586, when I got the rejection, I said, guys, I'm sorry, but we're bearish. Okay, so, and mind you, it would have to play bearish for this to play out. So if it comes past 2,248, well, it may not be invalidated, but the short-term J-hook is invalidated. So we'd have to find the actual level. So maybe the level's right here if we're actually looking at it, not my target. You know, so would it be the... this is what you have. You have a fair value gap. I'm going to teach Julie right now as well. Does anybody know what the FVG is, the fair value gap?
No.
So since nobody knows, as Julie just said, so right here, you have a drop down. You pull up. You come around. You drop down. We have not retested that area. Notice here we dropped down, came back up, dropped down. Now in theory, we should retest that that's a fair value gap. So now technically you're gonna have a gap here on the chart. If you break it down into the 1 minute on the Hikinashi, the way that I use my candlesticks, you can actually see it better. You'll see gaps in the 1 minute. And if you understand with the trained eye, you can start seeing the gaps that end up appearing in the chart. But I just want to show you it from the 1 hour perspective to show you it so that you don't have to be like, oh my God, the 1 minute, this is going to take forever. So right now it dropped. Let me take out the drawing tool. So this dropped right here. It came up. It's never, when it came through, it never retested that 2,300 area. It never hit it. So it came through, but it's never come back up to retest the drop. So they consider that a gap. So some people will be like, oh, there's an FVG gap. It's a fair value gap, and all that means is it dropped through too fast, never retested that area. So with the trading bots, I'm going to tell you a little secret. With the trading bots, so we're going to do this right, because the actual bear flag should play out right about here, so why lie about it? So if it does play out bearish, we should come up to 2,300. Or 2346, but that's or 2342, whatever that was, 2242. But that's different. That was the technical drop down. We can put it back, but for this purpose, it should come here even if bearish, and then it should come back through if it's bearish. Then it'll fill that gap. They love to fill them because the trading bots are doing it. So now if you're looking at trading bots, it's an algorithm. So the algorithm says, for anybody who's putting money in down here, well, you should be out right here. 2,294, you're pretty much pushing your luck here, buddy. All right? So you need to get out. And that's where the gap would be filled. Everything else has been filled because the drop down from higher, we came all the way back up here to fill it. The drop down came up to here. We never filled from here and down. So right now it tells me we have a gap to fill. So you can gap leverage trade. It's dangerous because if you haven't finished the drop down, but right now it looks like we have for now. So some people are like, well, how do you know when the reversal is going to happen so quickly? I see gaps. I see when it's oversold in the RSI. I see certain factors lining up. It doesn't look strong here on the rebound, but it certainly looks like there's a gap to be tested. And if it just continues to break down, we've got 2,049. But if it does it from the 2,240 area, technically, if you get a rejection right around there, or even where you're at, you can measure it at the rejection. We're just making a hypothetical here. And typically, it comes about 60 to 70% the way back up on a bear flag. I'm serious. It's a pain in the ass, but it traps people. So bear flag, and then it'll do something like this, and then just come down. I'm dead serious. You guys have all seen it. Anybody who's in the audience. So that's what we're looking for. You going inside? I love you. Oh my God, the flower! I love you. All right. Thank you for joining us. Say goodbye, Julie. So, it's always nice when Julie joins for a little bit. But she's going to have to go lay down. She's had a busy week. Her foot's probably not looking so hot right now. And she's probably tired. She's been up since 5 this morning. So she's already put in a nice 14 and a half hours today. 2,294 would be an area of concern for us to come back up to. But like I said, it's very dangerous to chase the gaps from leverage standpoint. Yeah, not always, Daniel. You're right. About 70-75%, I'd say you're dead on there. I usually say like 80%, but I like 70 better because then it gives me more leverage. Bitcoin right now, you guys see the rejection area that could happen around 54K. So if you take the rejection area, which that would leave Ethereum, and I'm not going to do the wick down. I don't like to do technically all of the wick sometimes because it gives us too much margin for error. But if it got rejected at 54K, you'd be looking for a technical drop down to 50K. I mean, that's just the way it goes, because that would play out as a bear flag. And then for Ethereum, it'd be right around 2,240 and it would drop down. So I'm just saying, I'm going to put that one target for Ethereum back out, you know, just because I already showed everybody. But the gap here on Bitcoin, just like with Ethereum, you've got a gap up here. I'm just saying. And you know how we say sometimes you fill the exhausted wick after a drop? That's why you hear this sometimes. So what's happening here is it came down, came through right here when it pulled up. It actually filled the top, so be careful. So it's not 55,600. The actual gap here is right here. It's actually 55,293. See, what ended up happening here is we got a sneaky fill. Just follow real quick. Just follow real quick, and this will teach you a lot. See this? We were talking about how we would have that gap to fill right around 50, let's say 55,500, right? Look what happened though. We technically filled that earlier gap, and it was quick and sneaky. When it came right here with this, it wicked up real quick and then came down. Well, that wick up, or that wick down right here, that was down to 55,271. It filled that gap at 55,600. Now the new gap formed is at 55,282. So like with Ethereum, if Ethereum comes up to around 2,300, you'll see Bitcoin at 55,282. If Ethereum gets rejected at 2,240 area, you'll see Bitcoin get rejected at 54K. You see how we start building this up in uniformity? Does everybody see what's going on here? So now you got Bitcoin and Ethereum. So now with XRP, we use this same philosophy as we go through all of the charts. So for XRP, the question is, we've already got the philosophy. The question is, which damn philosophy is it for XRP? So, does XRP get rejected with Bitcoin? Ready? If Bitcoin, it's so funny. If Bitcoin gets rejected at 54K, the likelihood is XRP probably gets rejected at, so I didn't mean to switch it, gets rejected right here, and our rejection would be, so Bitcoin gets rejected at 54K, right? Ethereum gets rejected at 2,240. XRP probably gets rejected at 52.48 cents. Bitcoin goes up to that next tier at 55,280. Ethereum goes up to 2,300. XRP probably gets a rejection at 53 cents. I mean, if you start looking at the charts for what they are, it's actually pretty comical, because the only way to explain this is a trading bot. Look at how we did it on all three of them. I already know, if Bitcoin goes to 100,000, people are going to be mad at me, but don't shoot the messenger. First targets, and it makes me feel embarrassed to say it. First target, I don't even want to say it. Nope, I'm not going to say it. You're setting me up. I'll just show you. You guys can read it. If Bitcoin goes to 100,000, first target, we'd have to get over $1.18, but ultimately, we'd be looking around probably the $1.97 at 100K. Or $1.37 if we can't get past it. But $1.18 is the first real big target. That's the cup and handle target. Then if you can start breaking out, I mean, we have a technical target, and you want to know the real technical target? I don't want to bust balls, and I don't want to make people think that I'm just butting it up. But the real technical target out of the 6.5 year consolidation is $2.40. But we have to be on top of the 2018 resistance and flip it. That's the technical long target. That's a big target. So to put it in perspective, for anybody who bought it when we did it 35, we'll just call it 34 cents, 35 cents, whatever. You paid $3,500 for 10,000 tokens. You could sell those same 10,000 tokens for 24,000. Some people says it's not good enough. I say, are you fucking kidding me? Tell me where else I can turn 3,500 into 24 grand. I'm waiting. No, tell me where else you can turn 3,500 into zero. I can tell you a lot of places to do that, so this would be nothing new if it goes to zero. Hell, I could go to the bar every week and throw away $3,500. You know, I don't go out and do shit. I don't. People think I'm joking. I don't do anything. I have the same boring routine day after day. I get up, and I love it. I love my boring routine. I get up, I do an update. We take my son to school when he has school. Julie drops me off at my gym. I walk home. When my son doesn't have school, I walk up to the gym if it's the summer. And then I walk home. And then I come home. All right, after the gym, I do a short. I'll do whatever I'm doing in the house. Maybe play a game of Fortnite before we pick up my son from school. The girls need to be dropped off and all that separately. But now the one's a senior, so she drives. And now the other one is basically getting driven. So it's not always a back and forth. So it's basically, I do that. Then during the afternoon, I study the charts. I do what I got to do around the house. If I cook dinner, I cook dinner. If Julie's doing it that night, I don't have to. Then I do my live. And then after that, I have my garden. I do my grass. I do my stuff at home. I don't go anywhere, though. I have all my stuff at home. You know, I do the gym membership for my health because it makes me feel good. It makes, you know, you feel good. Mind, body, and soul. But I don't go out to the bar. I don't go out and have fun. And I don't, my fun is, oh my God. How much gold did I end up buying when it was that cheap? How much silver? The fun I have is doing this. This is my fun because when most people are out going to work, you know, when most people are out going to work, I'm working, but I found a way to be able to do it from my house. Trust me, I'm still working. It sucks. You know, it sucks to grind, but I love the grind. So it sucks and it's good because consistency breeds a response. But imagine sitting here doing what we're doing and being able to get a fucking head. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we bought B2 Gold, and just hear me out. We bought B2 Gold, and I showed everybody my purchase of 3,000 shares at $2.42 about 5 Fridays ago. We had it for approximately 2.5 weeks. I showed everybody at $2.83 every reason why I'm getting out if it gets rejected there. I don't need to come on and broadcast it that I actually sold. Everybody knows. And then I come on and I say, the next area I'm looking to buy now, and what a profit that was for me personally. That 2 weeks, guys. 2 friggin' weeks. And this isn't to brag. This is because it makes me sick to think of how much I've thrown away in the past and how much I could have done. Well, it doesn't make me sick because you have to throw it away in the past to learn in the future. But that 2 weeks of holding B2 Gold, a safe hold, I thought. And I thought it was an overzealous sell-off. That 2 weeks made me about, what was it? When I ended up being able to sell it at $283, it was about just over $1,200. So you're talking about a 2-week hold. My 7,000, what was it? On 3,000 shares was just over $7,000. Appreciated, you know, that $1,200. Well, let's just say 1,000. I don't even care. It made $1,000 in 2 weeks. Okay, well, for me to go out of my house to work and make that $1,000, yes, I'm telling you right now, on a stock like that, 15% out the top is gone. And because of how you have to do it, if you put some to the side, I don't. I just pay it all off at the end of the year. You know, I wait until the extension, and that's a whole nother thing because my crypto gains last year are going to bend me over. I just read it on Uphold and everything else what my profitability was. Not good. Not good. I'm going to owe an arm and a leg, and I actually, after this tax cycle, done with Uphold, I can't close my account. I just needed the tax information. They're done. I'm done with them with their bullshit. I have to claim $22,000 in profits on crypto. Yeah. So some people said 23 was a bad year. I made 22 grand in profits in crypto in front of all of you. With everything we did, I have to pay 22 grand between the leverage and everything else. So because of all my write-offs, because of my property taxes, because YouTube is technically my only real income besides my trading, I'll probably be able to do it at a not 35% capital gains, probably at about I'm hoping 15 to 20, but it's going to cost me a few thousand. Oh, there's no doubt about it. That's going to cost me on those gains probably 5 grand, minimum 5 grand. So, but yeah, you know, so some people say, what's the point, Tom, of trading? Well, I mean, do you think in a bear market in 23 is 22,000 good profit? I mean, in a bear market, I made more in 23 than I did in 21, to put it in perspective. I made about 6,000 more in profit in 23, go figure, than I did in 21. So you go figure that out. A big part of that, I acknowledge, is XRP had that big run, and I had bought, you all know, I bought double my holdings, blah, 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 and then I always hold the 10,000 plus in a wallet, but everybody knows what I've been doing. I don't really want to see what next year is going to entail, especially, you know, with what's going on. But everybody can do this with me. Everybody. Everybody. It's not as hard as they make it out to be. The only thing that's hard about crypto is all the bullshitters out there. They make it very hard to know what's real. Most people exchange time for money, but when you trade, you make money. Yes! I'm sorry, I'm very passionate. Okay, what he just said is so overlooked. It's like he said, when you're trading, you're basically trading money instead of time. Yes, patience. And it can cost you a lot more time if you're a bad trader, because you're going to have to work more. But I always tell you, you have to have a steady income somewhere. Hey, YouTube might not be much, but it's something. I have, as some of you know, 164 people that are in Tom's army, you know, at different levels. And then I get ad revenue. So I'm not breaking bread. I'm not making a whole bunch of money. But what I am doing is making sure I have a stable income. But I'm putting in a lot of work to try to lure some people in. You know, it's a struggle a lot of times. Believe me, I don't, especially when there's downturns. I can't believe somebody joined Tom's army today. We haven't had any donations via YouTube. And I wouldn't expect it nor recommend it when we're down 4.3%. I prefer people to pay it forward when we're making money. We're not making money. What we're making right now, we are making money by not buying it when it's like this. But you're making money in the fact you're studying the chart. You get a perspective. You know. Nazar says, this is great analyzing as usual by you setting a limit order at 48.5 cents. That's, I think that's fair. Now, you're setting it there and you understand that it might not come there. But if these technical targets play out, you know, you're looking at, on this first rejection at 52.4, as we've been talking about, then your target is 48.1. Now, if it doesn't get rejected there and we come up a little bit higher, no problem. Hey, no problem. That means we're playing off the 53-cent rejection, and our technical target's 48.8 with the downside of 48.1. You know? And everybody asked me, Tom, what is the reason to do technical analysis on XRP if you know it follows Bitcoin? Well, wise guys and gals, if I know Bitcoin's first rejection could be 54,000 or 55,280, well, how do I know these numbers by heart? If I know Ethereum first rejection is like 2,240 and some change, or 2,298, well, what does that matter for XRP if I don't know? Well, now I know based on what I'm seeing with Ethereum and Bitcoin. Well, we already know. And I keep showing you XRPs because this is XRP community. I don't need to keep going to Bitcoin and Ethereum. But 52.48 or 53.04. Is he drunk or is it my sound? Well, I wish I was drunk. It could be your sound. Or it could just be me. Could be me. You know, I might be in a weird, the way it's coming out might be weird, you know? I was at the hospital for like 5 hours today with my mom. Maybe a little, somewhere around there, because she's in the hospital. Her second night, she'll be there tonight, maybe more. But she's got very bad diverticulitis, and they have to take out, last year it was a 1/4 inch of her intestine. Now it's a 1/2 inch. But it's so inflamed they can't do anything, so she couldn't eat. And it's been a while, so basically I was buying her these, basically how my son drinks is, he gets fed through a G-tube. I buy her these nutrition drinks that I read through to make sure that all this stuff high protein, every little vitamin you could think of. And she's basically living off those the last like month. So I'm glad she's finally there, because she was doing a little bit better today. But it's an interesting thing. True, that's why I learned to chart and find my own answers. I came a long way in 5 years. I take care of my 5-year-old and don't have to. I need to read this. Daniel, I appreciate people sharing this kind of stuff. 5-year-old and don't have to work as hard as I used to. Exactly, Daniel. That's the key. Nazar says, I've been following you for some time, for some years. Greetings from Amsterdam. Hey, Nazar, I know you. You're the one that I said if everything goes right that I would want to go hang out with you in Amsterdam. That's why that name's familiar. Oh, we've had this conversation before, even in the lives. But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't noticed, we do something different here. So if it's your first or last time here, just go out in the solace of, we're actually unified here. We do positivity over negativity. We don't do the hateful bullshit. I'm so past the hateful stuff. We're loving here. We're helpful, not hurtful. We're positive, not negative. We're winners, all of us, not victims. We are not victims. We will not play the victim. And we will not act like XRP, crypto, gold, precious metals, or anybody else or thing or finance or trade owes us a damn thing. Because to be honest with you, it's a damn casino. And if you don't know what you're doing and you can't chart, you're going to lose everything you've ever worked for. So do I advise people to get into trading? Absolutely fucking not. I lost my ass for years. Ask old Vincenzo how great we did. Hey, that junior mining stock looks great there. Let's forego a sure thing that pays us a dividend. Why? Because we could have a 27x instead of a 7x. And then lose your... I had a $1,300 investment. My old Vincenzo had a little bit more than that. Don't want to disclose how much, but we've made it back and then some. Believe me, on mining stocks over the years. Way more than we ever lost. But the point is, I didn't have a lot of money then, and that's $1,300 that could have been spent elsewhere. And I watched that get liquidated because their mine fucking collapsed, and then it was just over. You can't plan for that. But being a junior miner, they ain't got no fucking revenue source, so it was over. I seen the same thing in the stock market when things got delisted. I bought a LATAM Airlines, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just made a great run on Guinness. So when the pandemic happened, this is when it all started for me, big time. I took the pandemic money and said, all right, I know what I'm doing. I just lost my ass for 2 years, but I'm doing good on commodities. So on Guinness, it was some bullshit stock. And I seen it on the chart. It was a penny stock. I called my brother and my dad. I said, listen, I'm putting my entire, whatever they just sent us for this pandemic, I think I got $1,500. I put the whole thing on Guinness when it was at $2.52. I'll never forget it. My brother, I'm not buying that shit. My dad, I ain't buying that. It goes up to like $4.14 or 42 and they buy. Then it keeps going. It went up to like $8. So my $1,500 turned into almost like $8,000. I was shitting bricks. I could not believe it. So then I think I'm the greatest trader of all times. I'm looking at the penny stocks. I'm doing great. Everything just happens to be in a great cycle. I buy this garbage ship. Some of you know Top. It's a shipping, it's the shipping containers Tops. And if you catch it at the bottom when it's real low, you can ride it for 200-300% and flip it real quick. And if you catch it for that 1 week or 2 weeks, oh, I was on a roll. I made a few thousand there. Then I took $1,000 after buying a bunch of gold and silver. This is in the beginning. You know, this is when gold and silver went way down in the pandemic. You should have seen those prices. It was awesome. And then I'll never forget, I bought a $1,000 call option. And there was broken down into a bunch of them of LATAM Airlines. I had no idea they were getting ready to be delisted. I wake up the next morning and I have $3,500. It went up 350%. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I turned $1,500 into like 14 grand in like a month. Oh my. I remember talking to old Vincenzo. He's like, you better take 10 grand and buy gold and silver. And I did. I listened to him. That was my biggest purchase I ever made at the time at once. I listened to him, and that's where I came up with the philosophy on XRP. You're taking 10 grand and buying gold and silver when it gets to the price. Then old Vincenzo helped me buy. I bought an initial ounce of gold, an ounce of platinum, and about 100 ounces of silver. Maybe a little bit more. So anyhow, the LATAM Airlines. I'm doing great, right? I sell out the call options for a few thousand in profit after 24 hours. Give me my stogie, everybody. I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. So I take, oh yeah, it gets better. I take, and it's not a lot, $1,700. I've shared this story. Maybe Yeah, 1,700. I buy the stock of LATAM Airline now. I'm like, oh, fuck the call options. LATAM Airline, look at this price. The chart looks great. I ride it up. My 1,700 turns to 25. Oh my God. It's only been 2 days. Well, Robinhood didn't tell me it was being delisted after hours. Nobody told anybody. Right when 6 o'clock came, when you couldn't trade on Robinhood, it delisted. When I tell you I could not sell this thing, and it was everywhere after 6 o'clock and after hours, when you couldn't sell it in after hours. So then they give me an offer. They offer me 17 cents per share, or 17 cents on the dollar. So instead of getting 1,700, that was worth 28, it was about $2,500. When I invested 1,700, it turned into 2,500. They offered me like $282 that I had to accept. That was my buyout, and you had 24 hours to accept it, and then it would go to zero. That was basically their, whoops, it sucks. You're up 2,500. We probably should have told you it delisted. Go fuck yourself for a Robinhood. You know, that was my final straw, because I just got screwed on a Knox stock that I made. That's another story. $1,000 call option went up to like 24 grand in the same day, and they halted it so you couldn't sell it. All they did, they wouldn't let you buy stock, they'd let you sell it. So what do you think happened to those call options? They made it sure that nobody got paid on the call options. I still cashed it out for like 8,000 or 9,000. But you're talking about 8,000 is one thing, but 25,000 is so much different. I was broke. You know, but that's when I was like, oh my God, I'm making more money trading than I'm making the whole fucking year at work. Like, I'm burying cable lines for $25 a fucking job, and I got to do anywhere from 20 to fucking 150 feet for that 25 bucks. You know, so it was a revelation. Most people leave because they're like, I'm not going to listen to this guy. This ain't bragging. How many times did I just talk about losing my ass? There was a lot of them. Let's not talk about the times when I'd be putting in $500. Hey, I've got $500. I got this. Buy it. It goes down 1%. Oh my God, it's down 12 bucks. I'm selling. And then it goes up and you buy it, and then it goes back down 3%. Oh, fuck. And then you keep buying it and then selling it to buy it, to sell it. Every time it's going down, you're selling it, and you're buying as it goes up just to sell it when it goes down, because you're using your emotion. That's when I realized you can't look at how much you bought it for. So if I buy $5,000 in a stock, I'm looking only at the charts. I don't want to see if it's up 500 or down 500 until I'm ready to sell. I don't give a rat's minute ass what the price is in between in my portfolio, because that only gets my emotion going. So I know this was a very up and down live. I know we shared a lot, but the fact 92 people are here, obviously I didn't bore you. But I'm going to have to pause this for a sec. I'm going to log into HOTCOIN, because I want to make sure if anybody wants to copy trade me, you have a way to do it. So let me log into this. I have to pause this, though, when I log in, because I can't let anybody see my password. Not because I don't trust you, but because there's a lot of posers. Alright, now I don't care about the Google Authenticator, because you can't even see it on my screen, and it changes every 60 seconds. And I don't do it off my tablet, because I, you know, just in case, you never know. So let's see. So you guys will be able to see this. I'm okay with that, because this changes in 8 seconds, so we got to hurry up. Alright. So, if you want to copy trade me, go to the futures. First, you got to go to the video description below. So, hey, Tom, how do we do this? 'Cause I'm going to show my stuff, you know. I'm trying to promote my stuff. And old Vincenzo, because he's my brother, and I believe in good karma. I want him to have people following him, too, and that's in my pinned comments. Make sure you follow old Vincenzo for his weather forecast. If you're trying to figure out what's going to happen in the winter, you better follow him. So if you want to follow me, click on HOTCOIN Exchange. See, I've got this all set up. You can send a donation by Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. If you don't want to send it through YouTube, you can join BITUNIX, which they'll have copy trading sometime after the 10th. So if you're following me on there, make sure you stay there. HOTCOIN, so you click on it, it'll open up HOTCOIN, as you can see, yada, yada, yada. I'm already signed up, but you'll be able to sign up. So you go there, and now let's say you're signed up, you've got money on the deposited. Now you put that money in the futures in USDT, because that's the way they do copy trading. Do I like it? No, but that's how they do it. I have $608 in there right now, FYI. So, my lead trading. So, right now, We are up $246.90. I started with the $100 challenge. Right now it's at $346.90. No trades have been done the last few days, FYI, because of my mom. You know, I haven't been able to focus on copy trades, but the last 3 I made September 2nd. You know, and that's what the trade looked like. The followers made about $600, and right now we have 31 people. I'm surprised nobody left. In fact, we gained 1 person. So if you just look at $100, that means I have $3,100 between 31 people on each given trade. So I take it very seriously. And if I move up another 2% on here, which will be a really cool achievement, if that tests 50% instead of 47.97, I can be changed from junior to intermediate, which is awesome. Gives me a little more credibility amongst my viewers. So that's how you do it. That's all you have to do. I'm very conservative. I don't usually short. I only really like the long. Remember, guys, though, I know some of you are confident with me and you've made money. I get it. But remember, I base my trade off of a $105 roughly trade. So if I'm doing a 10% hit, I know my risk is about $10. If some of you do a $1,000 trade and you hit 10%, that's a $100 risk instead of $10. And I understand it should work out the same over time, but I've had people do that and then they just leave. And they're like, well, what the fuck? I lost $90. I'm like, well, technically I lost $9.13. So should you have. But because you did it 9 times more than me, because I have a strategy. When I buy in, I know my formation. I know the formation. I don't like to short, though, because it makes me look at the market in the wrong way. It's just the way I am. Some people think it's stupid. I don't really give a rat's ass. That's the way I trade, and it does very well for me. So instead of having to look at for short targets, I only look at when the bounce back happens for longs. I just got to get money together first. I'm invested in other ventures. Money's kind of locked. Yep. Hey, I got a lot of money locked up too. Some of it's tied up in just my precious metals holdings. See, a key thing that I did for years is if I had profits, I would just buy precious metals, and then it's like I don't even have that money. You do, but it's actually money. It's not currency anymore. So when you don't see the dollar in front of you, then you're like, oh my God, I'm broke. Not realizing that the dollar is a scam. We were given in our Constitution a guarantee to deal with in real money. But guys, I got to get going here. I'm sorry. It's been an hour and 2 minutes. I told Julie I'd come back inside. And I want to make sure she's doing okay, because her foot was really bothering her. I must be honest. So, but we'll talk more. I may do another live here later. I don't know. I have more to talk about, but I really want to go make sure Julie's doing okay. So have a blessed evening, everybody, and we'll get back together here shortly. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Really